Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
Some deaths hit you especially hard. When I say that, I mean in the pop world, in the celebrity world, entertainment world. I'll never forget that it was Sam who texted me, Ozzy has died. And what did I send back? No!
Well, look, before I sent you the text, I didn't want to be the spreader of false rumors.
You double-checked and checked?
I went Googled, and it's like every news site had it. So it's
correct.
Right.
And it was only 3 weeks ago. We touched on this today in the show, but we really thought we should give Ozzy a little more love and time because he certainly deserves it here. Ozzy Osbourne, who just did his final farewell concert 3 weeks ago with Black Sabbath.
That's what's amazing. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, okay, did he know something the rest of us didn't know? Or
probably not. I mean, he had
probably
battled a lot.
Probably not, but it just it's really freaky.
So, God, it's hard to even know where to begin, but I do want to say this. What's so cool about him that I was surprised to learn was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when that book came out, I Am Ozzy. Mm-hmm. I gobbled that up and read that, and remember how touched I was, Murphy?
Oh, yeah.
What a hopeful person he was. It's not what I expected. I'm thinking I'm going to sit down and read about the Prince of Darkness, and I'm going to read about, the OzzFather and all that. And he was so honest and so human and hopeful, a very hopeful person.
His stage persona that means he was very good at creating his stage persona.
Yeah.
Because through that time when he was the Prince of Darkness and performing and touring and all that, it was a different Ozzy. I think when MTV debuted the Osbournes, you started to see what actually happened every single day in their home, and Kelly and Jack and Sharon, you got to know Ozzy in a very different way.
As a human.
Right. He was a softie. He was funny. He was
he was the typical gets aggravated at the cat.
Right.
And wants to eat burritos.
I was just flipping through YouTube clips of the Osbournes, and I came across the one with the bubbles. Remember that one?
I think so.
Sharon was showing him the stage presentation for his next concert.
Yeah.
And the bubbles were all over. And he was like, I'm the Prince of Darkness. I can't have bubbles on the stage.
Yeah. There's a lot of that that we can't share here because he let the words fly.
Yeah.
He had no filter ever. Some of my favorite Ozzy facts, and we touched on a few of them in 3 Things to Know, but I want to throw them back out again. When he was fired from the band Black Sabbath in 1979, he, along with Sharon, launched a solo career that was groundbreaking. The Blizzard of Oz album, that was the album. And I remember that album cover. We all do. How scary looking it was.
That's all him going, ah!
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the beginning of Ozzy solo.
Yeah.
And the whole...
That was the reason my parents weren't into him. It's like, you're not going to listen to that music. You can't,
Are you kidding? Yeah. I had to sneak Ozzy.
Yeah.
Just like I had to sneak Prince. My mom and dad were fine with me loving on Rick Springfield because he was clean cut. But when an Ozzy or a Motley Crue poster went up, that was a different thing.
It's so funny how when you look back and today it's kind of tame. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It was really groundbreaking for its time. And look, the music certainly was edgy. Even today. It's got, it's got the good, distortion of the guitar, all that kind of stuff. But
his music was heavy, but his vocals, were
special.
I want to tell you 2 stories. Number one, every woman in the world who's ever heard Mama, I'm Coming Home loves that song. You really listen to that song, the vocal is incredibly special. He's not being, a madman in a cave.
Yeah.
He's just being vulnerable.
Wasn't that a comeback in the early 90s also?
It was.
It was later Ozzy,
and that was one of the 3 songs he did, his farewell concert.
Right. I remember listening to that song driving from where I was, living away from home in college, cranking it on the way home. And it was of comfort to me. And I'm like, Ozzy, thank you. It was also at a time, this is why artists mean something to you, because they're a part of your life story.
Oh, yeah.
Another Ozzy story that I have to drop on you is that I had a bunch of friends in college who were way into grunge. And I was the girl who was fighting that because I missed my hair, metal bands. And I was not fighting grunge, but they were. And then Ozzy drops in the middle of the 90s, No More Tears. And I remember sharing it with a girl going, this is what grunge is missing and cannot do, okay?
Hey, he stayed true to himself, right? He didn't try to become grunge himself. So
Always.
Yeah.
I remember some of the Ozzy's music being used, and I did it along with my friends when we would make the carport haunted houses.
Oh, yeah.
For trick-or-treat night, and we would crank Ozzy, and it helped with the effect because it was scary.
You never got to see him in person, did you? In concert?
No, I didn't. Can you believe, of all the metal I saw, I never hadn't had the opportunity. Saw almost everybody else.
So I don't know all, the history. Obviously, I know that he was in Black Sabbath. Why was he fired from Black Sabbath?
Oh.
Was it drug use? Was it
behavior? I believe it was behavior. Absolutely. Sharon, he will tell you this, and the book is coming out. His other book called Last Rites is coming out later this year in October.
An ironic name now.
In the beginning, yes. Now in that other one, and I guess in the show he talked a lot about it, how Sharon just saved him. She came along and believed in him when no one else did. And God, what a person! What she has put up with, the stuff that we saw. And the stuff that we never would see.
I remember it was about a decade or so ago that there was some infidelity.
With a hairdresser.
Yeah, and they worked through it.
Yeah.
He had to move out for a while.
She's kicked him out a few times. Yeah. Right. There are some crazy stories.
Yeah, but they were a power couple. It's
It's a crazy.
It's a sweet story. It's a crazy one, but it's a sweet story.
The other story touched on this in Three Things also, but have to share it. It was that during that time when Lollapalooza was new and Sharon was working as his manager and believing in him and understanding how to market him, while he was at home screaming at the cat, she was like, "We can't get you here. You don't belong here. What are we going to do? No, you don't fit in anybody's, music is always changing, often changing." And she was seeing that. And at the end of the 80s and in the 90s, music changed.
Yeah.
A lot of hair bands went home and it was over.
Just about all
and
of them.
It was over. And only the ones with real music backbone really lasted and had to reinvent. And that's when she came up with, "I'll just do my own thing," and OzzFest was born. And apparently he said, "Well, it better work or everybody's gonna be laughing at us." And I'm thinking, OzzFest.
Yeah.
Just the name.
Oh, he knew what it was.
It's sold out.
Yeah. As soon as I heard the name the first time, I was like, "Oh, I know what this is going to be."
Exactly.
All those bands.
A couple of other things. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2006. With Black Sabbath. And then again last year as a solo artist. And that was the first time we saw him sitting on the throne because he couldn't walk around. So that's why he performed 3 weeks ago in that big
Isn't that interesting though?
Black chair.
Even in that setting, he's not going to be relegated to a folding chair.
No
it's
kidding.
still going to be, what I'm saying, just all of that, the theatrics that he's had his entire career.
Yeah.
The Alamo, a lot of folks, had their tributes yesterday. And the Alamo actually had a nice little thing to say about him. "We acknowledge Ozzy Osbourne's journey from regret to reconciliation at the historic site, and we extend our condolences to his family, friends, and fans."
Yeah. I feel like he's just proof that as long as you just be yourself, when people like you, when people don't like you, when you're up, when you're down, just be yourself and be genuine. Because no matter what, if he was sitting in an interview or if he was at home with the cat, he was always being himself. And people just appreciate that. And that's one reason people, you may have found him hard to identify with. I had to hide that album from my grandmother. The Blizzard of Oz. I completely had to hide that. But that's not who he was. He was a human being who was putting on a show for us.
Yeah, right,
and that's what he loved and all of that. So highly recommend the book, I Am Ozzy. I want to say that. Yeah. But I can't wait to read Last Rites also later this year.
It is remarkable to me when you look at how, and you're right about Sharon. I don't even remember if the Osbournes as the reality show was her idea,
or
if anybody came to then. I mean, I can see it being, her idea.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that Ozzy would have been as prevalent at all in the 2000s if it hadn't been for the show.
No, we would have never known him in those ways.
Right, because he was just kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
But I will say this, they were the first TV family to do that in that way, to where you were like, because all the other ones that followed, even when I think Gene Simmons did it, they were trying to recapture what Ozzy and Sharon did with the Osbournes.
Yeah.
There's nobody like Ozzy, though. You couldn't.
Correct. So big time resurgence of his music right now. Highly recommend you check it out. That vocal on Mama, I'm Coming Home is one of the most beautiful rock vocals ever recorded. And you may have thought of him only as a madman with a bunch of heavy guitar, but that vocal itself is just so beautiful. Yeah. Beautifully done.
And, you know, the other thing is just mind-blowingly incredible to me is he literally went out with the largest fundraiser in the history of charitable concerts.
I forgot about that.
It's the biggest ever.
190 million.
And that's what he, you know.
That concert.
That's his legacy. That was what he did literally just 3 weeks ago.
That concert, what a wonderful, beautiful way to go if you have to go.
You know, the concert itself was part of the reason I was really shocked yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew he was ill. You knew he had Parkinson's and the end was going to come. But it's like, what? He just performed.
And we always thought he was going to survive everything because guess what? He survived everything.
Oh, boy, did he.
The way he partied back in the day.
Well, it's funny when you say he no doubt he was himself, and yes, that's the way to be. But the way that he did a lot of it is a really hard way to live, you know?
A lot of stuff he doesn't even remember.
I talked to my mom last night, and she thought, yeah, you saw that Ozzy died? I'm surprised he made it this far.
Correct.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out for that concert being a major motion picture in theaters sometime early next year.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.